talked about this before, but it bears repeating. The law of exposure. What are you exposing yourself to? The more you expose yourself to good, bad, neutral, the more you become what you're exposing yourself to. If you have teenagers, you're always worried about the friends that your teenagers hang around with because you become like your friends. You take on their attitudes. Even as adults, be aware of who you're hanging around with. You are the average of your 5 closest friends. You're probably all similar in weight. You're probably all similar in earnings and lifestyle. You're probably all similar in attitudes. So are you aware of what you're exposing yourself to? What you're becoming familiar with? The more familiar you become with it, the more comfortable you become with it, it becomes habitual and you stop being aware of it. You stop being aware of the law of exposure. You need to be aware of what you're exposing yourself to at all times. Now, sometimes at work, we can't control that. You can't control your co-workers. But the more you become familiar with them, the more you just accept it, the more it programs you. If you're surrounded by a negative Nancy, a Debbie Downer, or a Karen, it becomes normal to you. At first, it was just negative and you couldn't stand it and you hated it. But it starts to wear on you the more you're exposed to it. It becomes normal. You don't want those things to become normal. You want gratitude to be normal, laughter to be normal. You want positivity to be normal. So make sure you're exposing yourself to those things. Here's a small example in my life. Last winter, I was not in my home. I was house sitting 3 provinces away. And I loved it. I loved the hikes. It was so different. I'm on the prairies. I stayed in the mountains, so I got to hike. And at first, my thoughts were, I'm going to go on a new hike every day because there was so many of them to choose from. But I started to be drawn to the same hikes over and over and over again because I was familiar with it. I knew where to park. I knew how hard it was going to be. I knew if it was busy or not. I just enjoyed what I was familiar with. And I didn't do new hikes unless my husband was there. Almost forced me to try something new because I personally was drawn to the familiar. It was secure, it was safe, it was known. Become aware of that in your life. If you want to up your game, go to new restaurants. Beware of the law of exposure, of familiarity, because you tend to go to the same restaurants over and over and over again. You're drawn to the same people. You're drawn to the same music. Be careful of the music because it is programming you without you even realizing it. You become familiar if you're listening to negative music, rap or hip hop, or some of those lyrics are horrible if you listen to them. But if they're just playing in the background, it's becoming normal to you. That language is becoming normal. That attitude is becoming normal. Be careful of your music. I have a daughter-in-law who listens to true crime podcasts. She's so used to it. But then when you go out with her, when you're on a hike, when you're walking the dog, she's so paranoid. She thinks that all these bad things are going to happen to her. And I am convinced it's because she listens to true crime all the time. She's exposing herself to those thoughts all the time. I just never think those thoughts. I don't think that all these people are out to get me. I really, really dislike listening to true crime podcasts. I understand the appeal of it, but I also know that for me, for my mindset, it just does not work. In your love life, you see it in other people really easily. You see that somebody you know is always attracted to the person that maybe isn't the best for them. It's easy to see that in other people's lives because you're looking in, no emotion. You can spot that, wow, that is not a good choice for them in love. But can you see it in your own life? Do you pick the same friends, the same love, the same everything over and over again, even though it may not be good for you? Because it's familiar, because it's something that you experienced in childhood, because you were exposed to it and it's just normal to you? Be careful of what you start to think of as normal. Awareness, 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 awareness of your self-talk, awareness of what's going on. Become a conscious creator of your reality. Manifest your dream life consciously. Awareness of what's going on around you. So I know that you can design your life, create your reality the way you want to. You have to be aware and know, do you need to start new habits? Do you need new friends? You don't necessarily have to ditch your whole entire life, all of your friends, but maybe add one or two new friends that isn't what you would normally be attracted to. Add them to your circle. Change yourself. Become aware of your own attraction to what is familiar. And if what is familiar is working for you, if you have health, wealth, and love in your life, then by all means continue doing that. But if you want to manifest more wealth, more health, more love in your life, you have to change something. You can't stick with the familiar. Nothing will change unless you do. So it might be time to get new habits, new friends, new beliefs. You need to program yourself. There's different ways. I have lots of videos on different ways to program your subconscious mind. And then what you put in your subconscious mind will become familiar to you the more you're exposed to it. Start exposing yourself to the reality that you want to create. The law of exposure, make sure you use it for your benefit. When you become aware of it, you can start to manipulate the law of exposure in a good way to benefit your life, to consciously create your reality, manifest everything you want. Like attracts like. It's just another way that you can understand the law of attraction. So be careful what you're exposed to. Be careful what you become familiar with. So just like you would tell a teenager, you are the 5 people you hang around with, start using that logic on yourself. It doesn't change just because we become adults. You still are the same as the people you surround yourself with, as the environment you surround yourself with. You become numb to it, accustomed to it. If it's not good and it's not positive, don't become accustomed to it. Start to change it. You can do it. You are capable. You are enough. You are worthy and you are powerful. Remember how powerful you are. Use these laws to your advantage and start to change your life for the positive. If you've watched this far in the video, I know you'll also enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video, and we will consciously create our realities together. Thank you.